scene. So, the last time we left off, the young man had made a mistake, and that's where we join, the kids at school, and, it's back to normal with the young man, trying to deal with the noise, but he's also trying to approach the girl with blonde hair to explain to her the full situation because he's still feeling it heavily, and his older sibling is still debating the whole thing, but I'm gonna say she comes to a solution when she realizes that if he didn't do what he did, that girl would have, might have actually ended up or, continued to try and do what she was trying to do, which she basically got a taste of her own medicine. So she kind of, is okay with what happened and understands that it was really an accident and he didn't mean it. So, what happens next is that for the whole entire time that they're there, the blonde girl, always find ways to avoid um, uh, the young man, and he tries his best, but it's no avail, no luck. Like he just can't, get a chance to really talk to her. And I'm gonna say his older sister, is actually watching this every like she's seeing it, and I'm gonna say ever since that whole entire accident she's become aware to watch her brother. So she's watching this and it kind of hurts her, but at the same time she understands she understands both, both positions, both sides, but at the end of the day, she just can't hold, the blame on solely on her younger brother. So what happens from here is that things go on per as normal, and I'm gonna say we eventually cut to when the kids are at home, and you know their I'm gonna say that their mother told them to go get ready for dinner, and that's when she gets on the phone with her husband, and I'm gonna say that her husband tells her, whatever you do, don't show, your face towards the kids, which she tells him, oh, I would never, don't worry about that. And then she finally asks him what he needs to tell her. And I'm gonna say he told her. And after he told her, she tells him, in a very, like shaking, angrily voice, you better hope that I still love you, because if not, I will leave you. And that's all she says to him, and she hangs up the phone. And he's now basically feeling what his he's basically going through the same turmoil his own son is going through. It's just in a different situation, different reason. So now she's in this state, and she just ends up warming up two plates of food, and she puts hers upstairs. And she doesn't like to condone eating in you know in parts of the room, but she only does it when she needs to, and this is when she needs to, like, this is warranted. So she basically does that, and after doing that, um she pretty much calls them, she, after she does that, she heads back down and she calls them downstairs, and they proceed to come down the stairs already, and they come to eat. And I'm gonna say that they notice the change, and I'm gonna say, like, um the the young girl, she notices the change, at least not not her brother, because he's more concerned about the whole thing that happened with the girl with the blonde hair. And I'm gonna say, the daughter, she notices that like her mom is really pissed off, and because she's not eating, and it's kind of odd. So she just tells the kids, go on and eat up because you have to go to bed soon because you have school tomorrow, unfortunately. And her saying this, just convinces them to pretty much eat. So after they finish eat, she tells them, go upstairs and head up to go change, which I'm gonna say, they do. And after they do so, she basically was washing the dishes while this was happening, and she's thinking about it. And the reason why she's shaking even more is because, she has really come to love, her son. Like, that's literally her baby. Like, she literally feels like, once, like, you go past all that DNA stuff and just, every single general scientific molecule of, a person's genetic code or structure, and that's literally her son, no matter what. So it kind of, you know, is it's a lot like agitation she has right now. So she's feeling this, and she, I'm gonna say she wants to flip out, but she knows if she flips out, the kids will, get worried. So she kind of keeps herself together long enough to wash the plates, go upstairs, and by the time she does this, they're pretty much changed, all set, and they're ready. So she tells them, good night, and I'm gonna say that finally, when she usually actually, just kisses both of them, but that night she only um kissed her daughter, and she, pretty much turns around, locks off the light, and closes the room door, which I'm gonna say, that basically caught her son's attention, and he couldn't understand, um why she never kissed him, goodnight, because, yeah, they're getting older, but that's still her son. He's only like, what, 5, really? So he's thinking in his mind maybe she knows what he's done and that's the reason. So now it's really starting to set in. Like, he's basically, now becoming even more conscious than before. And while it's a good thing, it's also can be a little, not so great. So that's what's happening to him. And we, eventually night passes and morning comes, and they do the same routine. They get up, brush their teeth, they go eat breakfast, and then they get ready, and pretty much, they're out the door, and their mom, she just drops them off, and she's gone, because I'm gonna say that she had to go to work anyways after, so it was kind of more convenient for her to go to work, after she drops them off, which, you know she does, and the day goes by like normal, and eventually the years would no, well, yeah, now, okay, so now, after all of that has happened, the years would go by, and because I was actually thinking of something else. So the years would go by, and I'm gonna say around 8 years go by. This is when we can get into the 8 year time gap. So 8 years have gone by. The girl with the blonde hair, like, and I'm gonna say that young boy. We learned that the young boy name is Deku, and the older sister name is Dekuna, and we learn that basically they're in I'm gonna say that one is in they're both actually in high school, except the reason why both of them are in high school is because while one was exceeding, excelling, not, why did I say exceeding, well, yeah, exceeding or excelling at their studies, the other just shot up right behind the other one. So it ended up that they both got into high school, and now it's that the youngest one is actually in the same class as the older one. So being that that's the case, I'm gonna say the youngest one, Deku, he's there, and I'm gonna say that for the first time he actually turned around and he was in class and the teacher was talking, and he noticed the girl with blonde hair, and he noticed it was a blonde hair girl, and he remembers her from what happened, which he can see that something has changed in her, and that she's not the same as before. And in this version, I'm gonna say that she doesn't really have like you know um a gang following her, because I'm gonna say that they had like a falling out. So what ends up happening is that Deku was able to realize he gotta pay attention for now. But I'm gonna say that after after all of their classes ends, and everyone is getting ready to go home, I'm gonna say that his older sister is more or less on the I'm gonna say she's on like a debate team. And that's suitable, but um that's suitable because of her style, and just in general, with the things that are going on with her. So she's on the debate team, so she has to stay late. But he's allowed to go. And I'm gonna say that um no, scratch that. His sister is on more than the debate team. Like, she's on the debate team. She's on the she's on the I'm gonna say that she's on the chess club, and she is on the baseball team. So she ends up staying, and he tries to he ends up he has to go home, because I'm gonna say with her, she more has I'm gonna say she actually has gotten a handle on her abilities, where he has only gotten a handle on um I'm gonna say one of them, and the other he's still learning. So he has actually four, no, scratch that, four in total, but he only knows how to use one. The other three, he's still practicing on a smaller scale. So he decides, once the bell rings, that he's gonna go and talk to the blonde haired girl, only for the bell to ring and for everybody to leave. So he ended up uh would chase after her. And I'm gonna say that she's gotten some new friends, and I'm gonna say that they actually stopped Deku from being able to chase her. So he pretty much lost her, and I'm gonna say that she knew that he was following behind her. So the minute her friends showed up, she just told them thanks. And she basically changed direction, and she pulled a 360 on him, and she dipped. So after she does that, her friends end up blocking him, and they ask him, what's your problem? What, are you crazy for girls? And he has no answer. But I will say